So avoid ads. That's one of my tips until you're popular. And basically that's all I have to say about that. Don't try to monetize your blog before it's getting a lot of traffic. Have a social media strategy. When I do a new post, I share it on Facebook, I share it on Twitter, Google+, and LinkedIn. Those are my 4 that I use. And in fact, on Facebook, I've got a regular profile and a fan page. And what I'll do is I'll link to my post at different times during the day for once on my profile, like maybe in the morning, and then once in the afternoon on my fan page, just to kind of break up what time those go live on Facebook. And on Twitter, sometimes I'll link more than once, but usually I try to limit that even to just linking once to a certain post. But you can also link to any other relevant place, and I put relevant in all caps because you don't want to just go in the comments of any site and just be linking away to blog posts, and it has nothing to do with what people are talking about. You'll want to comment on other sites and blogs, and when I say comment, I don't want you to go out and tell people that I love this topic, follow my blog. I see that so much, and it's a pet peeve, and nobody's going to come follow your blog if you make a comment like that. And nobody, in fact, you shouldn't even say, come check out my blog, but you should be sure to include your URL somewhere, whether that means that your name is linked to your URL. Most blogs allow that in their commenting tools, that if you include a URL with your name becomes that URL. But you'll want to leave thoughtful comments whenever you are commenting on other sites or blogs, because you want people to think that you're really engaged. And I mean, you should be really engaged. And that's a great way to make connections, but also to get traffic to your site, because the more thoughtful comments you make, the more that people are going to be interested to know more about you. And that's when they're going to click on your name or your URL to check out your blog. And a lot of what you're doing, whether you're commenting on other people's blogs or commenting on your own blog, is that you're trying to make meaningful connections with people. And that's really one of the main goals early on in blogging, and really that's the main goal when you're building a platform and networking, is that you want to make meaningful connections with people. That means not trying to chase a certain number of Twitter followers or a certain number of friends on Facebook, or whatever. You don't want it to be a numbers game. You want it to be a people game, and making those connections, because that's how you're really going to build your platform over time and really have useful opportunities for yourself and real chances to speak at different events or get your name out there, because people will be advocates for you if you have meaningful connections. Another way to build blog traffic is through archiving well. And by archiving, I mean a few things. One is the internal linking that I talked about earlier, linking to earlier posts on your blog. Of course, if you're doing your first blog post, you're not going to be able to do that. And even your second blog post, it might not make sense. But over time, you will start, if you're following a specific niche or trying to cover specific types of topics, you're going to find that you have content that's somewhat related to whatever, like earlier content that's related to whatever you're doing now, and linking to some of that. Usually you don't want to go too overboard where you're linking to every single post, but link to 2 or 3 pieces that are related, or even just one piece that's super related. But also a lot of blogging software allows you to tag content, and that's another way that you archive, is by organizing stuff by those tags. For instance, On a writing blog, we might have like a fiction tag or a fiction publishing tag and a fiction craft tag and a craft of nonfiction tag and a business nonfiction tag. And the more specific and targeted you can make those, the easier you make it for people that read your blog to find the information they're interested in. And it's really it's just another example of how you're thinking about your readers first and their needs and trying to make it as easy as possible for them to fulfill their needs. So another way to really increase traffic is through including images in posts. And the images should be relevant, but what images really do is they help the appearance of posts, but they can also help with SEO, especially when you've changed the title of the image file to have keywords that you're focused on in that post. If that image file has that keyword, if the image file is saved with that keyword, then it's going to show up in search results. And images also help a lot with sharing on different social media sites because and they make it easier for them to pop out, like on Facebook and LinkedIn and Google Plus especially. I believe Pinterest you can't even pin it if it doesn't have an image in the post. So it really helps. And related to that, incorporate design elements. So we talked about images, but also it's kind of standard to use shorter paragraphs, 2 to 5 sentences, and actually better is 2 to 3 sentences per paragraph when it makes sense. Also break up text into groups by using headers. In headers, if you have an HTML, a way to toggle between HTML and what it looks like in the final visual product, you can create those headers by doing an H1 tag, basically. And if anyone has questions about that, you can email me. My email's at the end of this presentation. When possible, with design elements, use bullet points and numbered lists as well, because these different little things help distinguish your blog from other blogs. There's a lot of blogs that I go to, and basically it's just a big scroll of text, basically, with nothing to kind of break it up, like nothing, no headers, no bullet points, and even the paragraphs are usually pretty big and chunky. And that just makes for bad reading when people are online. You want to keep an eye on your blog stats. Most blogging services offer some kind of stats, and if not, then you can go to Google Analytics. And if you don't know how to get there, just go to google.com and type in analytics, and it'll give you that. And you can actually put a code on your blog and find out, the main things are page views, unique visitors, that's unique people that visit your site, how much time they spend on the site, and then clicks per visit. You want to look at what your most popular posts are. That's important because you want to try to duplicate that, and you want to pay attention to what works, but also you want to pay attention to what doesn't work. And avoid that, because stats will help you determine how to focus your time.